Hello and welcome back to my craft room. It's the school holidays, so I've got guest crafter Macy with me, and guess what we're going to do today? Macy, over to you. Tie-dyeing. Macy's got her old shirt on that she wouldn't usually leave the house in, and we might even tie-dye that as well later. So although we had this big idea, or I had this big idea about doing tie-dye, and I thought yeah I've got some dyes in the drawers in my craft room. All the videos we've seen have got these bottles, haven't they? Yeah, I can't find anybody that's still using these. This is so old. That cost me £1.55 when I still lived in Truro in Cornwall. I mean, mallets of Truro, I don't know if that even exists anymore. It's probably and I don't remember when I used to do this when I was a kid. I don't remember ever having to mix it with things and leave it for 24 hours and all that stuff. We saw that one lady, didn't we, using just tipping the powder on.
And then put ice on it.
And I'm putting ice on it, yeah. But we haven't got enough ice. I'm very unprepared. There's also all the stuff that I should have been aware of. Like, you should wash the fabric first. What I was going to use was this brand new fabric, and I got this free. You might have seen it on a previous video. Contrado. I will leave a link to them, because if you want to try tie-dyeing, this is a perfect way to do it. You can get free fabric. All you have to do is pay £5.49, I think it was, and they send you 2 kilos of beautiful, big, folded, nice pieces of fabric like this. It's just their ends, because their business is custom printing fabrics, so they get these ends. And I was delighted with it. But of course, it's got to be
like cotton. 100% cotton, or at least 80%.
At least 80%, yeah, absolutely. So I think they didn't mention silk, but I think silk will take it really well. But it's another natural. So I've got a little bit of this leftover sari ribbon. It's called sari. They call it sari ribbon because it's supposed to be made of old saris, and I don't think you'd ever have a plain undyed sari. So this is probably sari silk, but it never was a sari, this. So what we're going to do, we've got some gloves. We've decided on a couple of, which colours we're going for. We're going to use them because we think they'll mix together nicely. Yeah. And also because one of the fabrics that I've got, in the end I couldn't find much fabric that was just cotton. Polycotton would do if it wasn't too much poly. Yeah. But we don't really know. And I think this might be polycotton. I'm not sure. It feels... This is definitely pure cotton, because I remember it. I think the label it came on said pure organic cotton or something like that. Excuse me if I sound a bit croaky and snotty today. It's because I'm a bit croaky and snotty. I'm not sure what it is. It's not COVID. I tested yesterday because I thought if it was COVID I'd have warned you, but you're back to school soon. You'll be picking up all kinds of bugs, won't you? Ugh. So I think I'm probably not going to use all of this. I'll probably cut a big piece of it off. The instructions for this also mention you're supposed to use something called cold fix. Well, I don't have any of that. And salt. I do have salt. So I think we're going to ignore the cold fix.
Just see.
We're just going to do this for fun and see how it turns out. Yeah. If it goes well, or even if it doesn't, I have got an old cotton, or at least partially cotton. It might have something else in it. Vest. So I might do that. In fact, I will, I think. Good thinking, Batman. Oh, well done. I can't even read that. There we go. 100% cotton. I'm not going to show you the other side of the tag because that'll tell you my size. Should we try some bits of this first? Yeah. We saw one lady just tipping the powder on, didn't we? And I'm really tempted to try that. We're going to cut some chunks of this off and go and wet it. Yeah. We're not going to be washing it and doing all that stuff. No. That's for other people, not for us.
We've sorted out everything and got everything ready, and we were looking at some videos and we saw one that was really good and clear, so we're going to follow that one.
Yep, and should we give a little peek at that?
Yeah.
This is one we looked at lots of videos, didn't we?
Yeah, but
this is nice and clear, straightforward.
Yeah.
Not rubbish. A couple of them were a little bit TikToky, weren't they? Yeah. Where you think, that's not what you were.
The one that was
clearly not the one she was doing. But this one's pretty good, so we'll leave a link to this. Mr. Otter Art Studio. We're going to try that. We're going to try that. And we're going to try that. Yeah. Right, so we kind of cobbled together what we're going to just ignore all the rules really and just do what we can with what we got, really, aren't we? We've got gloves. We will need cling film, and that's one thing I do have. This wasn't for cooking, this is for moving house. And I've had it for years. It's still knocking around. Do you want to? If I go to the desk cam, do you want to just tell everybody what we got?
So we've obviously got our cotton and we've made it damp. The salt and the dyes. And we've got pipettes, a brush, hairballs, and pots of water, and then some thread.
Because we haven't got elastic bands basically, but in the olden days we didn't use elastic bands. They hadn't invented elastic bands when I was a child. That's a lie. One of these was actually cold fix.
Yeah, one of them.
But I think the others are probably meant to be done hot. So then none of this is going to be permanent and stuff, but we're just going to go for it.
I think these two were the cold ones and then these two were the hot.
I think we're going to leave out the green, but we're going to use those three
three.
colours.
Yeah.
And because everybody else is using, that we've seen is using
And
bottles, we thought if we mix it up fairly much less diluted
And
than
then
the
use
instructions.
pipettes
To squirt it on where we want it.
Yeah.
So the first thing is to try and make these. Oh, and you said about a fork, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Macy's had an idea about a fork. I'm going to go and get a fork. So it's another essential piece of equipment, a fork, which Macy will demonstrate in a moment. So we need to mix up first, don't we? I suppose.
Mix up all the dyes.
All the instructions seem to be saying you're supposed to wait at least 6 to 8 hours. Some of them say 24, but we've got like
one
3.
girl waited 12 hours. I think.
Yeah, it's not happening. It's
Yeah,
not happening.
3 hours.
But these are going to be a lot less dilute than that. So.
Yeah, so it should.
So I think you have to pierce a hole. There's no easy opening to these ones. So I'm going to use this knife. I'll do this bit, and then you can do the stirring.
Yeah.
Perhaps stir it with a pipette.
Yeah.
Do you want to put some salt in?
Oh,
It's a bit random. It's supposed to be 4 ounces for the thing, but I don't care if we use all of the salt because I've had that salt ages. So be generous with it. I'm going to try just piercing in here. That's not working. Hang on. This isn't easy. I can see why they've changed the packaging these days. Scientifically accurately measured quantity of salt here. Okay, we think that should do. Yeah, give it a stir. Oh God, I'm inhaling salt. Can you taste it?
Oh,
I can taste salt.
When you're on a boat and
You get it off the sea spray, don't you?
I get it on my lips.
Macy just recently went to Cornwall on holiday
we went
with your
on
family,
a boat at
didn't you?
St Ives, and
Yeah.
when we came off, I licked my lips and they were all
You could
salty.
taste salty, yeah. I'm sure there should be an easier way of opening this, but I think it just says pierce a hole in the top. I think we used to use skewers, if I remember right, in the olden days.
Yeah, that's one of the girls used what we watched use to skewer.
Oh, it's an exciting colour. Is it going to dissolve? Oh yeah. What we must try not to do is get this on the floor in here. We've covered up my chair that you're sitting on, haven't we? Because that's
I don't
fabric.
think there's any more. No, I can't really. There we go then.
It doesn't look very intensely coloured, does it?
No.
Although this is a lot less water than you would
actually
use. So, oh, perhaps it is quite intensely coloured.
Yeah.
Because I can't even go and rinse that in the sink because it will. You're not supposed to get it near enamel and things because it will dye it. So I can't even go and rinse that. I did say we would do this outside, and I kind of wish we had now, maybe. Oh, look at that funny bubble there. It's like a big lump of the stuff, I think. Right. So we've got, so that one is called Sahara Sun. So we've got Sahara Sun, Arabian Night, and Cerise. So what should we try first? I want to see the swirly one first with your fork method.
Yeah,
so this is not on the video that we're going to link. This is something that Macy's seen somewhere else. But it sounds like a good plan. It's a weird thing. This is the first house I've ever lived in where there's no outside drain to throw things down. There's no outside drain. Oh, it's everywhere already. Oh no! That's okay.
We'll come off my gloves.
Oh yeah, she did say make sure you clean your gloves, didn't she? Yeah. Oh, it don't matter.
So
I'm probably never going to leave the house in it anyway. Where has the pipette gone for that one? We can't make it completely flat because we haven't got much space.
No, I think.
Oh, that looks amazing, doesn't it? This is inside out. Do you think that matters? No, it's got to dye all the way through. That's incredible, isn't it? Very impressive.
There we go.
Fantastic. That's a good little tip, isn't
Yeah.
it? So then she tied, or she put bands around in
So,
sections,
yeah,
didn't she?
1, 2, 3, 4, I think.
And she dropped different colours into the different. But I
Yeah.
don't want too many different colours. I think I might just go for
Do you think
2.
this would stretch?
Should we call this video "How Not to Tie Dye"? And it probably won't dye those ponytail O's because
Probably not, 'cause of
they're
the
synthetic.
fabric,
Yeah. So now we drop different bits into the different sections, or
Yeah.
we just do it all pink, blue, pink, blue, pink, blue, pink,
Pink,
blue.
blue. Yeah.
Shall I do the blue then? You do the pink.
Yeah.
Exciting. And she said to stay away from the edges so they don't mix together too much because they get muddy. But actually, if these mix together, they'll make a purple. So
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Considering how much mess that was to clear up, this doesn't seem that dark, does it?
No.
I'm going to give it a good stir just in case it's settled at the bottom or something. The great thing is the
yeah.
pipette will probably pick up from the bottom, won't it?
Or even something just a bit go around the house and
Yeah, just to be not
like a
embarrassed
chill day or something.
for the postman to see me.
Yeah.
I think since COVID it's become okay to go to the door in your pyjamas.
Yeah.
It's my kind of colours.
Yeah.
I love those kind of colours when I'm...
That blue is sort of like the colour of the top you're wearing now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're quite subtle colours, more subtle than I thought they were going to be, because I thought we were mixing these up really
Really, yeah.
intensely. So I think if you wanted it really intense, you'd have to do it like that lady didn't put the
Yeah.
powder straight on. I can see why she did that. So this looks like a blue section, but it's a lot smaller on this side. We didn't check that, did we? We
Yeah.
probably should have turned it over.
And looked.
Yeah, because we could have adjusted this, but never mind. Like we seem to have a giant red section here, but never mind. Let's just go for it.
I think I can actually see blue there.
Oh yeah, let's put a bit. I'll put a bit of blue in there. Now, do you think we've got it soaked enough? Because one of the reasons for making it, leaving the fabric wet, is that it helps the dye to soak in.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want it completely uniformly soaked all the way through, or you wouldn't get that effect. Okay, cling film.
Oh my god, they are turned
They
purple.
really are purple. What we don't want to do is mix purple with yellow in a minute, because that would be
yeah.
yucky.
Yeah. That'll be muddy sort of.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to bundle that up and leave that while we have lunch, mess around a bit.
Should we do some of the dip and stuff
Yes.
with maybe the ribbon?
We can definitely do the other ones now, but
Yeah.
we'll reveal them all before you go home, even though it won't
Yeah.
be 6 hours or whatever. But you just spotted in one of the instructions for these dyes, it said, well, a lot less than that, didn't it?
Yeah. 20 minutes.
Yeah. I've got loads of gloves. Let's just take these gloves off and ditch them rather than risk contaminating anything we don't want to. So I've got loads of the gloves.
Yeah.
Are we going to do the ombre thing next, or the stripe thing?
Stripe.
Can you remember how we did that? Was it the concertina fold one? It was.
Oh yeah, like
yeah.
the fan. Hot fan.
Yeah. So let's do that on this one then, shall we?
Yeah.
This one.
I think that one actually, because
Yeah.
the ombre might show up better
On that,
'cause it's
yeah.
lighter.
Yeah. I'd quite like to try the red and orange together on that, and
Yeah,
it won't
that'd
work
look
on
good,
here, will
yeah.
it? Yeah. So with this one, we had to do a concertina kind of fold, didn't we?
Yeah,
Shall I fold
so-
it that way to that way?
Yeah.
She made it look so easy. Mind you, she had a big clear table and everything
Yeah.
organised, which I would definitely recommend organising yourself better than we have.
Yeah, what you could do actually, if this turns out like good, you could fold it in half, stitch up the sides, and make it into like a tote
Like
bag.
a tote
sort of
bag.
thing, and
That'd be
then
nice, wouldn't it?
because obviously you've got more of the blue fabric, make the handle.
Yeah, I've got
that'd be
loads of
nice.
that fabric. This was one of the free fabrics.
Yeah.
So I really made a bit of a hash of that, but you know. Basically, you're doing that. She called it a fan fold. I call it concertina folding,
Yeah,
but
call it
that's,
fan.
yeah. So we're going to use the bands for this one. If we've run out of bands, we're going to use the string. I think with these plain fabric ones, the washability isn't going to matter because I'm not going to make them into things that will get washed really.
There we go.
I like the idea of having nice vibrant tie-dyed fabrics that
Yeah.
I can stitch into and make things with. I do like that idea.
So I do like red, blue, red,
Yeah,
blue.
do you want to swap colours this time?
Yeah.
And if they mix together, we're fine with that because they
Yeah,
make
'cause they make
purple and that's
purple.
alright. Let's give it a stir. Like a bit of a dirty colour this does. Look, and there's like, it's like the, see when you do that, you feel like there's not much on it, but when you do that, it's just like it's not properly dissolved.
Yeah.
I think we're probably using hot water dye here.
I think it was because the ones in the metal tins are the ones we're using.
Oh.
But they're like silver lid.
Yeah, look, see, if I rub, I think we'll give it a good rub in a minute as well.
Yeah.
Because that
the
seems to
colour
be,
is coming out.
yeah. Oh, see, look, when you squeeze it though, look at the intensity of the colour that's coming out.
So if you do wash it, it will probably come out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Especially because we're not using the cold fix, we're not using probably the right amount of salt, you know.
Pile of
Yeah.
dye
Right, let's just do that. Put it
I
in the
think
bucket.
for that one, we'll just come back and there'll be a massive puddle of dye in it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to
It's
sit
not
in the
gonna,
fabric, is
yeah.
it? Right, so we're going to have a change of colour now, aren't we?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, see, we'll have to get rid of these as well.
Yeah.
It's all going to have to go in the bucket and we'll have to go up the road.
Yeah.
I think that's all we can do. Oh, this is messy, isn't it? We should have done it outside, really. Right, I'm going to give you the brush.
But then we won't really be able to film it. would we?
No. Should we just, like, start in the middle and, like, just
Should
merge
we
it
start
into...
with red, then in the middle,
Yeah,
then blue,
and then go to blue, and then,
yellow.
yeah. This will use up a lot of the dye.
Yeah.
Really doesn't look at all like when you think this is supposed to be cerise. Didn't she brush it up that way?
Oh yeah.
I like that it's got the crinkles. That will probably make an interesting effect. So if I keep them a bit separate so you can just, you've got room to blend them in together. I think this has got lots of little bits of the powder in it again, so it will probably intensify as you brush over it, I'm thinking. That powder looks like brown, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it
But
does.
look at the colour
And
that comes out, it's
but the dye
lovely.
looks brown as well.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's beautiful. I love that colour.
Yeah.
I even quite like where we got the sprinkles that we did, all,
Yeah.
you know, accidentally to start with. I quite like them.
Yeah.
Shall I start getting the blue on this end?
Yeah.
One thing that bothers me is how we're going to wrap this up
Oh yeah.
so that it doesn't, the colours don't contaminate each other.
Yeah.
We'll have to re-scrunch it and then roll it in a big sausage of
Yeah.
so
Right,
that
I
the
think-
colours don't contaminate each other. I'm quite excited about that one. I don't know about you, but that is my favourite so far.
Yeah.
I'm very tempted to get that silk out and at least do half of it, because what am I going to do with it? I bought I paid for the postage for that fabric to do stuff like this with.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you know, what's the point of hoarding it? Should we get some? Shall I get it? Yeah. What I'm tempted
It is
to do
sort of
is
like
like
Indian-y
Indian-y vibes. Yeah. I'm just
Especially
wondering.
it's that yellow.
Yeah,
That's
that's
just-
what does it. Yeah. I'm just wondering whether to just put the.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, look at my hand print. Do that and bundle it up that way, and then some of it will seep through and some
Seep
won't.
through and then then I'll have white bits on there as well,
Which will be quite
look
nice,
good,
bit of contrast. Yeah. So this is our bucket of hand dyed goodies so far. We'll leave them. We're going to go off and have some lunch and leave them as long as we dare. But we will come back before you go today and do the big reveal. They won't be dry, but we'll be able to rinse them and show them, won't we? We have suddenly realised we're having such a good time. We didn't realise what time was, and we have suddenly realised, let's put this up a bit, I think, that Macy's got to go home in 5 minutes. So we've quickly done an initial rinse on these pieces so we can show you before she goes. Let's see how they look.
Spiral.
Oh, actually,
Oh, it's got like a little scrunch in the middle.
where the fork went.
Yeah.
I'm really chuffed with that. I will wear it. I'm glad we only did the 2 colours.
Yeah,
Let's see what the other side looks like. I like how it's got that sort of lilac-y pale colour there.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because the thing is going to be how well it will stand up, because we
Yeah.
didn't use any fix or anything, but there's not too much coming off it now, even after that initial rinsing, so Grandad's going to helpfully run up the road with the bucket and get rid of the... This one, there might be more dye lurking in there, so be careful with it. We can cut these if we need to. Macy's got an exciting sleepover to go to, haven't you?
Tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm making the most of the end of your holiday.
Yeah.
So we can't be late. This is successful too, isn't it? Love that.
Do you want to put it to face? So that I
Yeah,
can hold it?
yeah. Look at
That's
that.
amazing. Oh my god.
Ah, tote bag
Yeah, definitely. That
or
definitely.
quilt or yeah, lovely.
That would definitely.
Once
look
I
good
finish
as a
them
bag.
all up, I'll take a nice photo as
now
well.
this one.
This is,
Do they
I
go
think,
back to
is going to be
hands?
my favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. This has gone a really lovely deep blue.
Yeah.
And yet we thought it looked really insipid, didn't we?
Yeah.
That is so lovely. Stinks though, that one.
Yeah, it does. No.
No,
was
that's
it
not the one that
No,
stinks.
this
That's
one.
the one that stinks. I'm getting a
This
waft
is the
of it
ribbon.
already. So that's the silk ribbon. So that dyed really well. It's interesting, isn't it, that the colours have gone much deeper
Yeah.
as
as
it's been sat there. And we were putting that blue on and thinking, oh, that's disappointing. But actually, yeah, I will take some nice pictures once I've properly
Yeah, you can
rinsed it
smell
up.
it.
Oh, that stinks. Why does it? Why does that stink like that? It must be a reaction. Yeah, it must be a reaction with the silk and the. Maybe it's something they use to clean to like dissolve the silk cocoons. Is reacting with the dye, but it is very beautiful.
Really nice.
It is beautiful. Stink though. Drop that back into the bucket. Well, I think that was a raving success. I
Yes,
really do.
definitely.
And I will definitely wear that shirt. I will definitely make bags or whatever with these, cushions, whatever.
Definitely.
Love them. And if I can get the stink out of that, that'll be nice too. I think once I've given it a good rinse, I'll wash it as well and put some fabric conditioner on it and give it a good airing on the line. It'll be fine. I am going to have a very colourful washing line, aren't I?
You are.
Okay, well, you've got to go.
Yeah.
The question now will be, how well will they stay, as we didn't use any fix. We used the salt, but random amount of. Okay, right, we've got to go because you've got to go. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed that or found it useful, but don't do it the way we did it. Watch some proper watch some proper tutorials and follow them. Buy a kit is probably just as well to buy a kit, really, isn't it? I think with those kits, when you watch them, the colour they squirt on seems to be the colour they stay, whereas with this it was different, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, right, that was fun. We enjoyed that. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again really soon. Bye.